Okay, I believe this is part 3 on how to repair a rusted out place where your spare tire goes. This happens to be a 98 Subaru, and it must have just got water, or maybe a mouse made a nest down in there and it got wet or peed. Anyways, it rusted it out. So you've seen that I cut the piece out at the junkyard. The junkyard for that piece and a little thing up here and a clutch pedal cover cost me $15. So about, you know, $5, $10, $15 you can buy that piece of metal, because I didn't have to include these other parts that I got. We're just working on this one piece. Okay, next I had a pair of tin snips. They're not very expensive. 10 snips. Okay, here we go. You need a pair of 10 snips like such, and I cut the rusted metal out from in here back to solid metal, so it's all solid. And I cut out a few processes. One, I scrubbed this entire thing inside. Just scrubbed it with some soap and water and rinsed it and dried it out thoroughly. Let it air dry for a little while so it's nice and dry. I did the same thing with this piece that I bought. I scrubbed the bottom of it. I cut off the right here and here. I cut off the lumps of the undercoating that were sticking up so that this would sit flatter inside there against the mold of the floor. Also cut off and tore off the pieces of this, it's like a tar paper type substance, to get back as far as it wouldn't pull up anymore, to get the rust. And I took a little wire brush like for a grill, fits down in here nice, and just wire brushed that. And I put a little bit of primer paint on, which some of it come off because I had to go back over this again. But now that is nice and clean. And this piece, when you cut this out of the other car, make sure you remember exactly how it fit back down in here. This one happens to fit like so. It has a nice, firm, tight fit now. Okay, the next things you're going to need are a drill to drill holes with, a pop rivet gun. You pick the appropriate one of these for the size rivet that you're going to use. I'm going to use like a 3/16 rivet, and you want to get the bit that's the size of this upper part. Okay, the bit's the same size as this because that's the part that's going to go in the hole. You want to make sure that this part has the same size as the bottom of this because it fits in the hole like so. You just shove it all the way down in there. When the gun's open, see the handle's closed right now. When the gun's open, that goes down in. Once you drill your hole, you're just going to stick this down into the hole and squeeze the handle and keep squeezing it, and it'll squash this part of the rivet and attach that. So I'm going to shut the camera off now, and I'm going to go ahead and drill my holes. I'm going to drill holes through this piece of metal and through the piece underneath of it, several of them all the way around this piece, so I can pop rivet that in. Also, you're going to need a tube of some kind of rubber silicone sealant. I just happen to have some leftover silicone sealant. It's like $7.99 a tube, but it's ProFlex flexible caulking sealant for roofing, doors, and windows. It'll stick to anything. It's paintable. It's flexible. It'll stick to oil and wet surfaces, so it's a really good deal, but it's $7.99 for a tube of it, and you don't need that much. And this tube, it's going to get a bead of it around close to the edge of this hole and out here close to the edge of this. So I'll put one bead on the edge of this and one bead on the edge of this. And then when I press it down into place, it'll seal up here at the top and the bottom and seal that completely up so nothing can get in. I'm going to shut the camera off now and drill my holes, and when I'm ready I'll turn the camera back on and show you what I do with the pop rivets. And I'll have the sealant already on, and I'll have the piece in place, and then I'll show you the pop rivet when you pop rivet it in. So I'll see you in the next video.